wake up, hit 100 push-ups, then I'm at my route. Check on my stocks, see how they looking, then I'm sliding out. When you start seeing your progression, you stop having doubts. And what's the point of having clout if you can't cash it out? True to this game, and I'm a lifer, ayy. Feel like we finna change the cycle.
Yeah, what's good with it? Welcome back, wealthy people. It's another beautiful Wednesday. It's your boy, your man's David Bellard, one half of the Black Wealth Renaissance crew. You know what we here to do. I'm here with my brother from another, Jalen. What's up?
What's up with it, my brother, man? How you doing? How you feeling? I'm feeling great, feeling blessed, feeling 31. My birthday just passed as of this releasing, so I'm feeling grateful, man. I cannot complain. I'm lit. I'm grateful.
Definitely, bro. Happy birthday, a black-tastic
Thank
birthday
you,
to
my
my
brother.
brother.
Thank
You
you.
already know. 31 years wiser. Nigga getting kind of old on me, but it's cool. You
Whew.
know what I'm saying? Look, 31 years around the sun, and now you going to have two sons. You feel me? So
Tell
it's a
me about
fruitful
it.
journey, man. But I'm happy that, we could get together, do the pod. Let's reflect on it a bit, man. How does it feel, bro? Does it hit
In
as hard
general,
as 30 hit?
no, not really. Now it's not. It's not one of those milestone birthdays where you're just like, oh my god. Like someone asked me the other day, it was like, how old are you gonna be turning? Oh, I'm gonna be 31.
You had to think about it for a minute, huh?
For a second, I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
you ain't
30.
lying. I ain't lying. When I turned 30, it was one of them things like, nah, you knew you was turning
Yeah.
30.
I will say this though. Whenever she asked me that, and I said 31, I was like, damn.
You feel like that
So it
Kevin Hart with Don Cheadle. Damn,
no, I didn't feel that bad, but I was like, man, I'm gonna
bro,
be
bro,
31. But I
bro.
once again happy, grateful. I'm still young as hell, so it's not like I'm old. I
Yeah.
feel great body wise. I can still stretch every day, so I got full control of my body. I'm not walking crazy. I'm not saying, hey, I'm in pain. I got aches and all of these things. I'm good. So I ran me a mile this morning, feeling great. I cannot complain. 31, I'm looking to have a great year. I actually got my cybersecurity test scheduled for Friday as well. That's something I want to gift myself as a birthday gift is me passing my security plus test.
Congratulations early because it's already written. You feel me?
Thank you, my
My,
brother.
hey, my,
Thank
my
you.
boy know that stuff, y'all. I ain't gonna hold you. You got to breaking some stuff down to me. I said, yeah, you been in the lab, you've been studying, you've been cooking.
I
So
really
it's
have,
a
dog.
given, bro. It's a given, bro. It's gonna happen.
Thank you, my
Well, there's a
brother.
will,
Thank you.
there's a way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But nah, man, on my end, things been good. Just the daily hustle and grind, the hustle and bustle. I've been
Mm-hmm.
getting after it. It's storm season, so in that IA world, that's what we do.
Man, one of my boys called me yesterday. My boy Mitrio, he was who I roomed with on my first deployment. He was like, man, I'm calling to see if you've been in that field, you've been active. I was like, nah, man, I haven't adjusted in a while. He was like, yeah, he done been in Kentucky, Pittsburgh. He's currently, I think, in Indiana, and I think they're about to send him to Kansas or something like that. But bro been locked in. He was like,
Yeah,
look,
Kansas got towed out the frame
he he
recently.
he he was like, look, yo, all you got to do is say the word. I'll get you back in. And I'm gonna be honest with you, David. So the other day I told you that they had a hailstorm come through over here. So I noticed that my neighbor across the street, his roof, the hip cap is messed up on it. So I ended up taking my ladder out. I just got on top of my roof. I was like, oh man, it's kind of exhilarating. It felt fun. It felt good. So low key maybe missed
Hey,
adjusting just a
that boy
little bit.
might have that itch you need to scratch again
No,
real
my
quick.
itch that I need to scratch now is the cybersecurity.
Nah, that's a better play though. Like I said, the thing about the adjusting world is the money good, but the grind is real. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
From an hour standpoint, you can make just as much money doing something else.
Facts.
And we all know time is our greatest asset. Like all other things aside, we work to make money and we build businesses to build a livelihood, but our greatest asset always is time. We opened up talking about our age, and like Jalen and I said, we in our 30s, we got plenty of time ahead of us. We not
Mm-hmm.
unrealistic in thinking, I was laughing at it because the Don Cheadle thing. Somebody hit me with that shit.
Really?
This chick was 27 talking about some damn. You
Bruh.
30. baby, you closer to
Yeah,
30 than you
you
think.
3 years.
Like my uncle
You
told
gotta
a nigga,
you gotta toe it.
you
You gotta toe
you
over there.
got more time behind you than you got in front of you when it comes to this. Like you
Exactly.
right there. You tweaking.
Yeah.
And you probably take naps after you get off in the evening because your ass ain't no spring chicken no more. You know what I'm saying? I know how the shit go. We get there. We get there. You know,
I
we
ain't
was
gonna lie
24,
though. I
25.
can't fake on the nap, boy. On the right day, you get you a nap in. Oh man, you wake up, stay up till about 2 o'clock though, and then mess up your whole day the next day.
Hey, look, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
Facts,
Yeah.
facts.
But anywho, man, let's get to it, dog. Y'all, we got another great show planned for y'all today. As always, y'all know what we need you to do. For the BWR crew, we need that 5-star rating and review.
Yes, please give us that 5-star rating and review. Drop it down on the podcast platforms, or if you're on YouTube, go ahead, give us that thumbs up, hit that notification bell, and if you're not, go ahead and subscribe.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And y'all engage. Let us know if you're enjoying the content. If it's something that you want to see from us, is always what we here for.
Yeah, I did see somebody said they really enjoyed last week's episode too. So
Yeah,
I don't have
indeed.
it
Yeah,
pulled up.
yeah. I seen that on YouTube. So shout out to you as well. But those are the types of conversations we want to continue having. Things that really go back to the core of what it is that we do here at BWR, and really just talking about wealth, man. This is what it's all about. We're gonna get some more people, bring in some more personalities as well, so we can get a broad range of perspectives. But yeah, we're gonna keep grinding, keep pushing away, and y'all stay with us on this journey. You know what I'm saying? Let us know what y'all want to see from us.
Yes, sir. Let's get it. What's the first topic we got, my brother?
So this is a topic that's near and dear to me, especially because I'm in the corporate world right now. So it's something that
Oh,
me and you've actually.
wait. Before we get to that topic, I wanted to play this clip for you.
Okay, all
Before we
right.
get
Let's
to
see what
this
you got. What
topic.
you got?
Hold on. Yeah.
I'm ready.
Water right here is worth $1 in the store, $2 at the gym, $5 in the airport, and $7 on the airplane. Know why? It's not about the water, it's about where you place yourself. Just like in your life, place yourself around people that know your value. Stop settling. You're not worth $1. Get the most out of yourself.
Mm. Okay. I see what you're going for here, man. You keep giving us that OG wisdom, dog. And I respect it and I like it. Similar to, the affirmation or alphabet last week.
Yes,
It's
sir.
one of them things, bro, where it's like it's a lot of truth in that statement. Your value a lot of times is determined by your environment. And if you're in the wrong environment, sometimes the people around you don't see the value or they undervalue you. So I definitely see what's going on. You got to put yourself in the right situations for your value to be seen. That's what I
Mm.
took away from that.
That hit. That hit. I immediately thought of this one story. I don't remember where I heard it from, but basically, this guy was gifted something by his grandfather, right? Something rare, some type of highly collectible thing. He went to the pawn shop at first to get the value appraised or whatever. They only told him like $500 or whatever. And then someone in his family was like, no, you need to go to this type of appraiser and you need to let them check it out. It turned out being like $1.6 million or whatever it was. And
Hmm.
kind of same thing. Depending on your environment, they don't know what it's worth. So you could have sold yourself short and settled for the $500 thing. Or once you go to that appraiser, that person who understands the value in the market, you can get $1.6 million out of it.
Or they knew your value and they knew the true worth and they was just trying to finesse you because you didn't know your value.
Ooh, that's a good one. Because a lot of people will try to play you out your value.
Real talk. Real talk.
Ooh, you cooking.
Yeah. Yeah,
Ooh, you
it'll happen.
cooking.
Hey, you cooking with the clip, dog. That's real deal what'll happen. And if you a lot of times you're in the wrong environment around the wrong people, their perception limits you. And that's something that, whenever we started this journey, that was always the biggest hurdle for us at the beginning was people overcoming that perception of what people that we know and love, how they perceived us
Mm-hmm.
and the journey that we doing. It went from being, oh, that's that little thing Jalen and David doing on the side to like, oh no, this is a business. This is a brand that's impacting the lives of people. and they've done some amazing things through this channel. It's just all, again, all about who and what you surround yourself with.
Hey man, I couldn't have put it any better myself, brother. So what you got for this first topic? What you want to get
Well,
into?
that kind of goes into kind of what we were just talking about. One thing, and the first topic of the day that I really want to get into is something that I think is really crucial and pivotal, especially with where we are currently in our careers and working outside of the business, and that is the mindset of leadership. More specifically,
Mm,
the idea of being a boss versus the idea of being a leader.
that's a good and
In our community, I feel like we champion the idea of being a boss
mhm.
way more than the idea of being a leader. And I think that reflects a lot in the way we run business and the way that our businesses and the reason why our businesses are so often non-employer firms. If I'm not mistaken, I think the average black owned business, I think it's like 94% of black owned businesses
I think
don't
it's
or never
only
had
3%
employees.
of black owned businesses hire.
Yeah. And that speaks to that trend, right? Where it's like we all want to be bosses, but do we want to be leaders in the business? So let's get into it, right? What is the difference between a boss and a leader? A boss, they're an authoritarian. They want control. They like hierarchy. They want to let you know they better than
That
you.
they're above you.
Yeah. So they do little things. And like when somebody call them a title bully.
Yeah.
I got this title, so you should listen to me simply because this title, not because of my inherent value or the skill set I provide.
Mm.
Whereas a leader is a visionary. A leader puts trust in people and empowers people to use their knowledge and skills to the best of their ability without trying to micromanage and control everything that they do.
I want to pump the brakes right here, my brother, because I think you really you got some good stuff out the way, and I think it's crazy that we're talking about this because I told you I had started this book that I started reading, How to
How to
Lead,
lead.
yes
Yeah.
sir, by David Rubenstein. But basically, it's a book about the world's greatest CEOs, founders, and game changers. So they
Hmm.
interview like Oprah Winfrey, Barack, Jeff Bezos,
Yeah, I remember you was telling me about the Bezos
yeah,
part.
like a bunch of different people from like our time. So this is a very current book. It was written around the time of COVID, so it is a more current book. It's not a
Mm.
very older book, but I liked that. After I told you about that, you sent me that post about this leadership stuff, and I was like, it's just connecting because I also was speaking to someone else about leadership last week. But I said all of that to say, coming across that the difference between the two, the boss and the leader, and their different styles, I think it's important to really highlight the things that a leader possesses, right? The skills that a leader possess
Hmm.
before we go into the rest of it, because there are
That's
certain
good.
skills that leaders have. And in the section where he spoke about Bill Gates, this he was like his unrivaled success seemed to be due to a combination of vision, intellect, drive, and focus. So those four things, I'm not going to say all four of those are necessary when it comes to having intellect per se, because whenever you think of Henry Ford, he would always say, "Hey, I'm not the smartest person, but I got somebody on my team who can do it or who does have the intellect for me." Right. So I'm not going to say that all four of those things are necessary, but the things that I really wanted to highlight was the vision, drive, and the focus. I think leaders need to have those three things for them to get people to follow them, right? You need to
Hmm.
have the vision and you need to be able to convey a vision in a way that allows other people that you're inspiring that person, right? You're giving that person the inspiration that this goal is obtainable. You're also, once again, like you said, you're empowering this person. You're giving them the option to take on the responsibility and the accountability of if this happened, it doesn't happen. You know, you're doing that. But then I also think it falls into how do you lead and how do you present as well, right? It's not just I'm I'm telling you these things. No, I'm showing you through my focus and my drive as well, right? I'm showing you that I'm a part of this. I'm showing you that I'm leading from within. I'm not just telling you to do these things.
Facts. That's good. And that's one of the things I want to kind of go through some of those key distinctions, right? One of that post that you referenced, I'm just kind of read off some of these things, right? So bosses take advantage, leaders empower. Bosses blame people, leaders lead with solutions. Bosses give orders, leaders set the pace. That's what you were just saying there. Bosses, they take the credit. Leaders, they give credit. Again, goes back to that empowering people. Bosses, they may know how to get it done, but leaders will show you how to get it done.
And I'm pretty sure anybody out there listening right now, y'all can think of someone at your job that falls into the boss category and that falls into the leader category. And a lot of times within workplaces, the craziest part is the bosses, it's normally the person who end up in the title of like a manager or whatever, and it's not the leaders. The leaders normally get stuck in the role because they're normally pretty good at their job as like being a technician or really getting stuff done. So a lot of times they don't level up as well. And sometimes the bosses be kissing
They're so
ass.
valuable. Yeah, we get to that part, but a lot of times the real leaders are so valuable within their role that they are scared to elevate them. And let's get to it, right, with that ass kissing side of things, because that's a whole nother part of it where it's like, we read the book and we referenced it before. It's who not how a lot of the times. That's that whole technician versus relationship side of things. And when it comes to a lot of the bosses with the way they move,
I think you meant
a
E
lot
Myth
of
Revisited, by the way, not Who Not How.
yeah. Well, yeah, no, the technician part is E-Myth.
Gotcha.
But who not how is, just to me the key point driven home is it's not what you know, it's who you know, baby. It's not how to do it. It's not if you can get it done, you asking the wrong question. Who can get it done? It don't need to be you. And a lot of times when it comes to people in those positions, they better at building relationships than they are at the actual work that needs to be done. So
And who are you
with that,
referring to in that? Who's better at the relationship side?
the people that do the boss stuff,
Mm-hmm.
they better at ass kissing and building relationships a lot of the time.
Gotcha.
They better at ass kissing and building relationships with people who have the same mentality as them. Let me put it like that. Because to me, one of the biggest things with it is a scarcity mindset versus an abundance mindset when we talking bosses versus leaders. Bosses have a scarcity mindset, and a lot of time I feel like they are battling with imposter syndrome.
Ooh,
They
that's a good
always
one.
trying to make it seem like they know what they doing, even if they don't know what's
Overcompensating.
going on. Exactly.
Being very aggressive sometimes with the way that they speak, or even sometimes they belittle people whenever they're speaking to them, or it sounds like they're scolding people.
And it should never be a situation where you gotta put somebody else down to make yourself look better.
You know what's crazy? Because I watched this show with my girl last night. Something Gordon Ramsay or whatever, right? But on the last episode that I watched with her, it was this basically they pinpoint what's going on with the restaurant. The head chef was the problem. He is being paid $100,000, just barking orders, not managing the food right. There's food spoiling and everything like that, right? Gordon Ramsay comes in, get on this nigga ass, like, hey, this. Your cheese sauce not even real, nigga. You said it's homemade. This nigga say he buying cheese sauce from the store, mixing cheese whiz in and calling it homemade. Like, bro, doing some fuck shit right now.
Yeah. That worse than a lady selling Popeyes' own chicken.
Exactly. I said all of that to say is nigga had no culinary skills, no nothing, but he was the main focal point and main barking out orders, telling people he was gonna rip their head off and everything. And he was overcompensating for a lot of the things that he lacked, which was managing the restaurant properly, knowing how to do inventory, knowing how to lead his team to get the orders out on the right time, knowing how to actually look over the food. I forgot what they called it. It's a specific word where you basically quality control, making sure everything that's going out of the restaurant of the kitchen is up to standard. He didn't know how to do all of those things. So he was very angry all the time. And he was the sole point for the business losing so much money.
And you know, going back with that illustrates the point even better, right? Because he didn't know all those things and he didn't want people to know he didn't know. He probably was trying to control everything instead of
He
empowering and
was.
teaching
He
people
was trying to
how to do
control
things
everything.
themselves.
Everything, bro.
And that's an issue that happens a lot of times with small business owners.
I don't even
As a
think
small
it's just
business owner
small business
myself.
owners. So we could keep it to small business owners because I know that's our target demographic. So I'll let you go.
Yeah, no, just with small business owners, like especially specifically black small business owners. A lot of times when we start building something and start making money, we get to this point where we think that we have to be the go point for everything, and we're not allowing and empowering the people that we want to work with us to do what we are paying them to do. I've shared it before on the pod. One of my biggest mistakes as a leader in business was that whenever we were building out a team, not really learning how to empower people, trying to control the process from end to end, and just basically getting them to do whatever came out of my brain instead of giving them the set of instructions to then follow through and create with, and then give constructive feedback and show them what I need versus telling them this isn't right. You know, it's a lot of that type of stuff that goes on. A lot of it, honestly, is ego driven. I think whenever we can take a step back and recognize that I'm not the greatest at everything, even though, you know, especially when you're a small business owner, right? Because you get in the habit of wearing so many hats. You're the marketer, you're the salesman, you're the customer service, your product development. So when it starts getting to the point where you start handing these things off to people, you don't feel like they're doing it as good as you, even though in all reality, you are operating at a quarter of your true capacity because you're wearing 20 different hats.
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking at them in a more critical lens than you would even look at yourself. That's ego. You think your own shit don't stink. And this is me talking to me. You know, like you think your own shit don't stink. You fuck up too. You're not perfect. So you gotta find a way to give grace while still holding people accountable. And
You want me to tell you
understand
what
that done
else?
is better than perfect.
You want me to tell you what else with that? Whenever you're hiring these people within your business, they also 9 times out of 10 don't know your systems yet. They still have to get up to speed. So you're going based off of something you're doing every day to day. You know the process because you came up with the process, right? You've probably done it so many times, and they're on day one, day two, day three of whatever that is, right? So you're not, once again, you're not allowing them to grow, and you're not giving them the room and the space that they need to grow. You're not giving them the reins and say, hey, once again, you're accountable. These are the things that you need to have done. This is the guidelines that you need to stick within. Go ahead, go get it done. Anything else, give me a call if you need some help.
Yeah. Versus trying to control the whole process. Yeah. Yeah. Because that shit ain't it. I'ma just say it like that. It'll leave you stressed out and burnt out whenever you try to control too much. I've seen it from being the person sitting in the seat as the boss and being the person under someone else who is not all the way there and does not want to admit it.
Building wealth is about more than just the money you make. It's about what you leave behind. At Black Wealth Renaissance, we believe in creating lasting legacies for the ones we love. But have you thought about what will happen to your family when you're no longer here? Life insurance isn't just about protection. It's a way to ensure your hard work today keeps working for your family tomorrow. It's your opportunity to leave a legacy that will support their family. Take the next step today. Protect your family, secure their future, and build a legacy you can be proud of. Click the link below to get started today. So I want to share like the other side to this, right? Once again, you just boss. So once again, how do you be a leader? How do you step into that role? How do you grow? One of the things that I want to talk about is abundance and having emotional intelligence. You got to have that abundance mindset where, once again, I'm not the sole person who's the best at doing all of these things.
Mhm.
Honestly, I might not be the 150th best person at this. I know how to get it done because I need it out of necessity to operate my business. But if I empower someone, I'm pretty sure they'll get better than me in a much shorter time window because this is all they're focusing on. So, coming from that abundance mindset, you're not the sole focus. You're not the what is that?
Bottleneck,
Single, yeah, the
stopping.
bottleneck,
Yeah,
the single point of failure. It doesn't all run through you. You have to empower. You have to know that, hey, if I'm hiring this person, because that's another thing that goes in with abundance, right? People, we look at the cost of what it's going to have to have these people, right? Whenever you have that abundance mindset, I know it's a cost whenever you're operating a business, but if you hire the right person, and I'm gonna be honest with you, hiring is hard. It's not easy to hire right and find that right person. So whenever you're hiring though, and if you hire correctly, that person is going to bring you a return on your investment and they're going to help you grow. They're going to help you get there. And you have to develop them through emotional intelligence. You have to be aware of, once again, am I empowering this person? How does this person like to be motivated? How does this person like to handle, or how does this person handle adversity, and how can I speak them through that adversity to help them continue to develop within my company, right? Because that's another thing that leaders do. Leaders help you overcome adversity in times. Think about it. Any leader that you've ever had in your life, we'll start off with the parents. Parents help you regulate your emotions at a very young age. They're there for you. They're able to help you go through adversity. Let's go to teachers next. Teachers do the same thing. They teach you these things. They help you overcome the adversity of learning. Then we go to sports coaches, same thing. They help you overcome the adversities of the game. So all of these leaders, they need to help you develop through all of these facets. And that's how you can become a better leader too, by developing some of those soft skills.
that's good because that's really the soft skills is really the difference that separates. I think the ego piece is a part of it, and then developing those soft skills. Like you said, you can have a high IQ, but if your EQ is low, you're not gonna get the results you want. And that EQ is your emotional intelligence. Like, do you understand those soft skills of handling people? Understand how to manage people? Because people are people at the end of the day. Just like you're a person with all your own problems, trials, and tribulations, the next man or woman has the same thing going on in their life. And it may not seem like it on the outside looking in, but we have to have that ability, that know-how to navigate that while still holding them accountable. That's also a piece of it. You can't just let shit slide. Like, I mean, you're running a business at the end of the day. And that's something that I'm valuing in my current experience. I talked about this with Jalen a few times. That whenever going back into the workforce, it hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to do that. I would much rather continue to work for myself and build out my own enterprise. But I got to the point where I needed to go back to work for people from a financial standpoint. And over these last couple years, while I've been doing that, the skills that I've gained are invaluable. I've gone from being a person who really wasn't sure of how to have a team to having a team that will run through a wall for me, because building that rapport, building that trust, empowering people to do what you know they can do. And whenever they don't know something, you don't make them feel small. You
Mm.
show them. You teach. You lead with how you would like to be led. And I think that experience has been invaluable over the last few years.
Hey man, that's dope. That's dope. I'm glad you're able to get those skills. It's one more thing I want to talk about on leadership before we wrap up, and that's vision. I think I kind of already got into it, but it was a passage that comes from the book where Jeff Bezos was talking about having vision. And he said, we'll have a good quarterly conference call or something, and Wall Street will like our quarterly results. People will stop me and say, "Hey, congratulations on your quarter." And I say, thank you. But what I'm really thinking is that quarter was baked 3 years ago. Right now, I'm
Mm.
working on a quarter that's going to reveal itself sometime in 2021. That's what you need to be doing. You need to be working 2 to 3 years in advance. And once again,
Mm.
that takes vision, right? That takes focus. That takes understanding where I want to go, where I want to take my company. And that makes it easier for you to be a leader, because if you can tell someone exactly where you want to go, if you can tell someone this is how we're going to do it, or if you can empower them to help you build the machine, help you build the company that's going to take them there, you get extreme buy-in.
Mm. That's good. Like that having that vision is important. And that goes back to having that abundance mindset. And with that mindset, you see power as something you could share instead of something to hoard. And it's going to be rooted in your resilience and building community. And it takes that to have that type of vision, to be thinking 3 or 4 years ahead. Even we always talk about that picture of Bezos whenever he was in his parents' garage with Amazon. He still had a much bigger vision in that point for the business when they was just selling books. And a lot of us in our community, I think we got to just think a little bit bigger, honestly, when it comes to the way that we approach and the way that we attack our businesses. And sometimes it's easier said than done,
Mm-hmm.
but it goes back to that conversation that we were having at the beginning. Who are we surrounding ourselves with? The people you spend your time with definitely plays a role in your mindset toward the ability to grow and develop. You want to be around people that ask why not instead of why.
Or
The
how
people
can
that
we accomplish it?
yeah, or why would you want to do that instead of why can't you do that?
Mm.
But those are two different type of people that you're hanging around. And you want to be more with the people that are pushing you to excel and expand versus the people who are projecting their own limiting beliefs upon you.
That's good. That's good. I think that's a great way to wrap up this
For
topic of
sure.
leadership. There's another part, just a little food for thought. Actually was listening to something, I heard this quote and it kind of just stuck to me in my brain. And they said, in business, you're either growing or you're dying.
For real.
And
That's real.
that just sat on me. I was like, damn, that's true. So yeah, I wanted to share that little food for thought, that little nugget.
Yeah. You ain't growing and you slowing. You just got to get back to it. That's it.
So, David, I did want to save this question for later after section 2, but I think because of kind of where we just were with vision and everything, I think this is a great time to ask this question. And this is for both you and I, Black wealth in general. In the next 10 to 20 years, and what role do you think the next generation of entrepreneurs will play?
I've always and maintained the fact and will maintain the fact that prediction of Black wealth being a net zero for the Black family by 2053, that will never come to fruition because of movements like this and others that have spawned this next generation of Black entrepreneurs is going to be the reason why we never see that happen. I foresee us closing the wealth gap, not all the way, but significantly, making progress and headway in a significant way.
In the next 10 to 20 years?
Yeah, I see us because the amount of wealth that'll be transferred or up for grabs in the next 10 to 20 years, it's going to be a lot of money that's going to be out there that Black entrepreneurs can get into, especially like if we just being objective here. And this man, we start talking about a lot of these small business owners, a lot of these older small business owners. Some of these, a lot of these are white people. They got kids. Their kids don't want that fucking business. Some of their ass is junkies.
Yo,
These junkies gonna sell their shit for nothing.
they just want to get high.
They just want to get high. Opioid crisis, nigga. They trying to get their pills. You know what I'm saying? It's some kid with a rich dad that had a good business and lot of assets. All he want to do is get high. You can go get whatever the fuck you want out of them niggas. I feel like a lot of us can benefit off of that type of shit. Opioids wasn't a crisis till they realized it was mostly white people getting high. And them same junkies, they gonna be the ones to sell off them assets for pennies on the dollar. And
So
that's where I think Black wealth can actually benefit, is acquiring those assets. And then the next generation of entrepreneurs just building out businesses that are real services. Like we talked about in the episode with Omar, things that are integral to the economy instead of just, ancillary or miscellaneous type things.
that's good. Good points. For me, in the next 10 to 20 years, I agree. I do think this next crop of entrepreneurs within the Black space. I think they're going to be very fearless, very go after it, because just with the young kids that you see nowadays, like, their energy is different, bro. Like,
They
they
don't
be
give a fuck.
yeah, they at all, like, quite frank, they don't care. They definitely question authority, and it's not questioning. Sometimes it's not questioning authority in like the bad way that you think. It's just like, why should I have to do this, or who says I have to do this? What they're just
What's the
questioning.
benefit of
Yeah,
doing this?
that they're questioning all the things that a lot of people didn't question growing up. So I think that part will give them an advantage. Once again, you just said a lot of these assets being changed over, the knowledge that they have at their fingertips through TikTok, Instagram, all of these social medias, the knowledge that's being shared. I think these kids are going to get started earlier. Also, I think we're going to have some type of revolution of like Black tech entrepreneurs is what I'm predicting. Some type of Black tech entrepreneurs, or like Black entrepreneurs who are really going to make strides in this next world order that's happening right
I
now.
could foresee it, man. Like, especially the tech sector, especially, I know
I'm
you
even
taking
double.
your
I'm gonna even
the
go deeper.
cyber test.
I'm gonna even go deeper on this. It's mainly going to come out of Africa.
That I do believe. We see some phenomenal things. Africa is the youngest continent by like population demographic charts.
Mhm.
If anybody ever sees those population
I
demographic
think you're going
charts,
to see Africa
most continents have
thrive.
aging populations. The United States, Europe, Asia, even most continents, the population is real heavy on the older side and it gets lighter as it goes younger. Africa is the only one where I think something like over 50% of their population is on the younger side. So,
Mhm.
to your point, I do think that that is a realistic thing, especially as I don't know. Have you heard of Ibrahim Traore
I haven't.
and
Who is
Burkina
he?
Faso?
No,
So
educate me.
he is a revolutionary leader out there in Burkina
What
Faso.
country?
Burkina Faso,
Burkina Faso is the country?
yeah.
Oh shit, I've never heard of that. Damn.
So the Western media does not want us to know about this man.
Is that the
Revolution.
guy that like survived like so many assassination
18
attempts?
assassination attempts, yes. Yeah,
Yes, I
so
heard about
like
him.
I want to say in the last few years he
He
staged
pretty
the
young
coup.
guy too, right?
Yeah, like I think he's in his 30s or something, bro.
Yeah.
30s or 40s. He's a military general, staged a coup and took control of the nation. And since he's taken control of Burkina Faso, he's kicked out the French. He doesn't want them in the country at all. He's taking control of the resources through the government. So instead of letting foreign entities come in and control the natural resources like the diamonds and things, he's like, no, we control this now. He's bought in airlines for the country and something, I forget the exact figures, but he's increased the wealth of the average citizen there by removing outside influences primarily and stopping people from colonizing and commandeering Africa's resources because we
Mhm.
all know Africa's been one of the richest nations. So to that point, what you're making, I do foresee that as well. The rise of Africa will be a thing, and I think that's why China has done so much of that goodwill lending
Mhm.
because they recognize it's like, yeah, this is a 10, this is a 20, 30 year play. This might be a 30 to 50 year play. This may not happen in the short term, but at one point we will see this be the predominant place and superpower of production because we already know they're mineral and resource rich.
Mhm.
If African nations would stop the imperial colonization shit where
Call it
these
what it
countries
is.
just
Tricking off they fucking country, man. Out here selling they people for nothing. They're being okay with genocide. They're being okay with all of these things that's happening just so they can line their fucking pockets. They're corrupt. And I'm not saying it just like it's not happening in America because we being sold everything else, but they tricking off their fucking country.
yeah, and more people like Traore. I think he's a revolutionary leader that will reverse some of those trends that we've seen. Where like to the point we had last weekend where a few niggas can get rich just to benefit them and we clapping for
Mhm.
them versus the rising tide lifting all boats.
Yes, that's good. So yeah, that was my question I had. Your thoughts on Blackwell before we got to this.
For sure, for sure. So getting into the next segment of the show, this is a good question. that I want to ask you, and it's a question, it's an age-old question, right? Does money change you or does it expose you?
I'm gonna go with the latter. I'm gonna say it exposes you. I've always said this though. I feel like money exposes your true self, right? If
Why you
you
say that?
Because I feel like money amplifies anything that you have, right? So let's say you're a person who maybe gluttonous, or you like to smoke hella weed, or you like to do, I don't know, like to travel, right? Whatever you like to do, once you have the money and the access to it, you're just going to do it more. But I also think it just reveals who you are at the core. I just feel like once people get money, they just feel like, hey, I got what I need to, because a lot of people do things to get money to get to a certain level because they think money is the end all be all. So it just exposes who they are for their true selves once they have it.
So I'm actually gonna go on the opposite end of that. I think it can amplify the worst qualities of a person because it's been shown that money can change you, right? Money and privilege can change you. It was a study done by a university, I can't remember the exact university, where they played Monopoly. I'm not sure if you heard of this one.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, where they
And
were playing Monopoly.
one group started
They
off
gave
with
one
like,
group with more privilege than the other. They started off with like $500,
yeah.
and every time they passed go, they collected 200, and they got to roll with 2 dice. And the other group, they started off with 0. They had to roll with 1 die, and they only collected 100 every time around the board. And what they observed was the people who had the privilege exemplified way less empathy toward the other person's situation. It even got to the point where it was funny. And we didn't all play Monopoly before. When you up in Monopoly, you shitting on them. What are
You
you
really
talking
are.
about? You shitting on,
Shit,
hey,
you gotta
give me
pay
that
me
money,
rent.
nigga. Ah, pay that rent, baby. I got 4 hotels on it. Oh, you bankrupt? Tough titties, nigga. Run me that. I need all them properties. You know what I'm saying? Like, while it's a game, it's not really a game
Yeah.
because that happens in real life. So I do think that it can negatively affect like access to excess. You know, we had that whole abundance versus excess conversation before. Access to excess can corrupt you because you get so bored with the things that have brought you satisfaction and joy that you just looking for shit now. That's why I think all them super rich niggas be on that freaky deaky shit. To be honest,
I ain't gonna
them
lie.
Epstein Island niggas.
I was gonna bring that up. Like the freak
Yeah, them Epstein
boys.
Island niggas.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, they be trying to make it seem like it's just Diddy right now. I hate that shit, by the way. I'm like, hey, I'm not caping for Diddy. Don't nobody come here and say, oh, this nigga saying P. Diddy and R. Kelly and them shouldn't be in jail. Look, if they some freak niggas, they some freak niggas. They should be where they should be. But why is it that when it's one of us, that shit is magnified and amplified and everybody got to hear about it?
Yeah.
But when it's one of them,
Harvey Weinstein.
barely talk about it to this day. Epstein, yeah, they were like, oh, they made a movie about Epstein. They ain't make no movie about Epstein like they did. I always use this example, right? Like Tiger Woods, the coach for that was with Nia Long for the Celtics. They made big whoops out of them. You know what I'm saying? Bro, when I was in college, the head women's basketball coach was the son of a legendary women's basketball coach, Pat Summitt, one of the greatest women's basketball coaches of all time. By all measures, he's a high-profile hire for them. This nigga got one of the girls on the team pregnant and left his wife for her. That was not a story on fucking ESPN for 3 weeks.
Nigga, what?
You know how wild that is? For him to get a
That's
girl on the team
crazy.
pregnant and leave his wife and 2-3 kids for her? But when it's us, you know, black men, they like to demonize us and make us seem like we from some fucking sexual deviance. And they try to make it seem like, you know, that's just a us thing. When in all reality, I think it comes to excess. Excess leads to a level of corruption and foulness within people that they just think they got access to do whatever the fuck they want to do instead of doing what they know they should be doing.
I'm still saying it's amplifying you, what's in you. Because
So
there's
you
also
saying these niggas was always freak bosses?
Yeah, I'm standing on it. I feel like them niggas just had the money, the excess, the girls to actually live it out. It's a lot of niggas that's freak boys that just can't live it out.
Cause they too broke?
Yeah.
Hey, you think you would be a freak boy if you was rich as hell?
Whoa. I ain't doing all of the crazy stuff that Diddy. No. That's some crazy man. The stuff he's accused of, Jesus. No,
Hey
I would not
man,
go that far, dog.
I ain't gonna hold you. You know, a nigga might indulge in a
Plus,
few more
I'm
things.
married. I'm married now, so
Listen to a nigga might indulge in a few more things, but I can't imagine myself being just some freaky
nah,
deaky ass nigga.
man.
It's some things I'm just like, bro,
I
what
can't.
y'all a
I
little too
can't.
nasty for me. I remember a chick
Yeah,
tried to come at me with some BDSM shit. I said, whoa, baby. You got too much dip on your chip. I'm not that type of nigga. I'm sorry. You want me to put the little
that's funny.
apple in your mouth and tie you up like a rotisserie chick? I'm good, baby. That's
I
not
ain't gonna
me.
lie. I might do that one.
See, he's one of them. He's one of them.
I'm joking. Put you on a spigot, roast your ass.
Yo. Bro, you stupid.
Okay, in all
But,
seriousness,
but,
man. In all seriousness.
no,
Back
bringing
to
it
back
back,
to the
right?
yeah, back to the
Yeah,
topic, bro.
back to the
I
topic.
personally
Actually
do feel
forgot it. Hose money, I'm the shit. Oh yeah, I'm reminded. You don't even remember that shit, huh?
this J. Cole, I know, nigga.
Yeah, just making
Me and
sure.
my took a little trip down
Oh,
to the
you take it.
water.
Just got
Yeah.
took a little dip. Oh, Lord.
That's that song, right?
No, that's not. Back to the topic is a
Oh
fucking
yeah, that is off of Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights. Yeah,
You right. Voice gone,
but
sound a little illa. Man, yeah, I'm sorry. You got me. Now
yeah,
you got me
yeah.
going through this. Okay, but yeah, back to the topic for sure, for sure. I personally do think that it amplifies things because there are people who get money and they become philanthropists. They do a lot of great things with money
Mhm.
as well, right? Like let's talk about Bill Gates. A lot of people, say Bill Gates does some fucked up shit, but that Bill Gates and Melinda Foundation, these niggas giving away all their fucking wealth.
They say that nigga did COVID, man,
I know I heard that, but
and he buying
his
up all the water in California.
yeah, but yeah, according to the records and everything, his foundation gives
No,
a lot
but
of
yeah,
fucking
I
money.
get what you're saying, like the 1% pledge and all that, like the people that are a part of that. I think Warren Buffett's also a part of that. That
Yeah,
are
he
like they
is.
have this abundance and excess of wealth. So prior to their expiration on this plane, they're going to donate
But
everything but
once
1%. Because
again, that goes
honestly,
to the
1%
nigga.
of that massive wealth is enough to build a foundation.
That goes to like once again, who were they? Who were they before they acquired their wealth? Right? This nigga was just a nerdy coder who wanted to fucking make computer software. Like the nigga don't. He said whenever Microsoft went public. Do you know what he splurged out on?
A computer.
A used Porsche 11.
That's why that nigga rich.
Bro made like instantly became a billionaire, like close to a billionaire in the 80s, and we go buy a used Porsche 911.
Different type of mindset. I see what you're saying.
Like if it was somebody who had that different type of spirit, what they gonna go do?
So let me take it back from that too, because I think your upbringing definitely plays a role in it,
Facts.
especially for us as black folks. A lot of times
I will
we
say that
don't
nigga
have.
parents had access to a lot of
That's what I'm
high placed
saying.
people.
That's what I'm about to get
So
at. Like we don't have access to the same financial and human
circles.
capital that some of these people do. So that sphere of influence is a bit different. One thing that I wanted to touch on was, the idea of sudden wealth syndrome. We've talked about it a few times on the pod, where it's like
Nigga just
black
made up a
folks.
word.
Hey, we had to give it a name, nigga. Black folks get money for the first time in their life for real, like real
Fucking
deal money.
sudden wealth syndrome. I've never heard of this shit before.
Hey man, hey, if this is the first time you heard it, give us credit, nigga. Sudden wealth syndrome. SWS. Make it sound like a real goddamn
This nigga.
SWS, man. They be over with. They start tweaking.
So explain to me, what is this sudden wealth syndrome, man?
So, like we talk about all times athletes, lottery winners, people who hit a big windfall, hit a big Willie style, like we like to say, cash out on them, not used to having this abundance or this excess. So it creates anxiety. They start doing mismanagement. You just said Bill Gates made damn near $1 billion and he went by a used Porsche 911. I was watching Drewski little show. This is not a good example, but I'm still gonna use it. The Could Have Been Love joint, right?
I thought you was talking about Ugly Rapper Alive, nigga.
No, the Could Have Been Love joint,
Uh-huh.
right? The girl won, and they was competing for a $50,000 check. This girl won 50 bands. Said, "I'm about to go get me a condo and a charger." I said, "Not in this economy. 50 bands, a condo, and a charger. You gonna get one or the other, and probably just the charger. You ain't buying no condo for 50 bands.
That's a down payment, though.
But then you still gotta have the money to make the payment.
I mean, I think you can buy it. I think you can.
You can put down payments on it and finance it for a couple years. But what happens when the bread run out? And also,
I'm pretty sure she got a job. She got to have a job. You think sis ain't got no job?
You ain't watch that show.
I didn't. I did not.
Yeah, you ain't watch that show. But no, like just the idea of whenever people hit a windfall or get a big sum of money, the first idea and thought they have is to spend.
Oh yeah, splurge.
And
Go
spend
fuck up
lavishly.
a check. Fuck up a check.
Yeah. And that right there is one of the biggest diseases to me in our community.
When most people think of life insurance, they think of death benefits. But did you know life insurance can also help you build wealth while you're still alive? With cash value policies, like whole life or universal life insurance, you're not just leaving a legacy, you're building one. These policies grow over time with tax-deferred cash that you can access for things like retirement, emergencies, or even investments. Plus, living benefits can protect you during life's most unexpected moments, like critical illness or disability, giving you the financial flexibility you need when you need it most. It's not just insurance. It's a tool in your financial tool belt. Visit the link below to learn more and start building wealth today.
Like financial diseases. It's a generational trauma. Like we got it, so we gotta show that we got it now. We gotta, it's almost expected of you in our community that once you get it, you gotta show you got it. Instead of,
man, I'm glad you said that. I actually got a clip. I got a clip of the tuck. Hold on. All right, you can keep on talking. I'm sorry, brother.
Okay, yeah. It's just one of those things. Like it's a lack of planning, and then a lot of times, whenever we do get a windfall in the Black community, you feel that pressure to support everybody. Like how many famous athletes we done heard about, or musicians that done went broke trying to take care of everybody. Like you signed the deal for $2 million. And now you trying to take care of 50 niggas. Let me do the math on that shit real quick. $2 million. If you split that evenly amongst 50 people, that's 40 bands a person. And all your money gone. 40 bands, that's less than the average salary in America these days. And that's not even talking about taxes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is very, very easy, especially for people in our community, to fall into that trap of thinking once you get a little bit of money, you gotta do X, Y, Z. You gotta take care of your mom and them and grandma and them, and auntie needed some tires on her car. And since you the nigga with money, you gotta get the tires full. It just becomes a slippery slope where the money didn't change you. You still a good person, but it changed the people around you. They started changing their perception of you and wanting you to be the bank account.
Ooh, that's a good point. Before we finish that point, I want to get back to that part where you talked about, whenever you have it, you got to show it. You got to listen to this bird, man.
The bird, man, baby, I shine in every sun.
I shine in any weather,
inside.
bro.
Yeah, whatever the hell.
All right.
My God.
Money that you made last year, why haven't you bought a chain?
Brother.
Questions. I'm be honest, right?
Brethren.
Like, I'm just not no like super materialistic for real. Honestly, if you getting it, you know you ain't gotta go chain on them.
So you wouldn't buy me no designer?
Hey, now,
brother.
Oh, I got a question for you. Like,
yeah.
Brother.
A man that has like materialistic things like really important to you though, like chain, design on, because I see that's what you asked about.
No, it's not important to me. It's just
Okay.
Stop the cap.
Money going.
That
What?
Yeah, she get
nigga.
Got it on. Where is it going? That means you not getting it.
Bro, that's crazy.
Dollar.
That is crazy. That is batshit crazy. You called her right. She's a bird.
Bird, bro.
Bird
Once I heard
brain.
her say, "Where's all his money going?"
So literally, you can't conceptualize money going to anything other than
Materialistic things.
external shows of wealth. And that was that little streamer dude, right? By the
I
way,
don't
that
know
little
who
nigga
that.
problematic. Yeah, I seen that little nigga before. Yeah, that little nigga problematic. He one of the bigger black streamers.
Gotcha. The dude in the green shirt or the dude that was talking about having it?
The dude was talking about having it in the thing that she was asking the questions to.
Cool.
I forget his name, but
That's crazy.
You know, everybody know Kai Cenat. He another one of them.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I couldn't believe the things that she was saying, brother.
Bro, she just said, where your money going if you ain't got no chains?
She did. But going back to that, talking about
Man,
that,
I might have to
black-
revise my answer from earlier, nigga.
Oh, you don't think we're gonna be making no improvements?
Man, if that's how they thinking, ooh, we are cooked, buddy. We can't make it like that. But no, in all seriousness, I feel like it's way less birds than it is people that are really trying to build. That's just the stuff that gets clicks and shares on the internet.
Facts. You were talking about the quote unquote black tax earlier, right? Whenever you're that person who make it, maybe you went to college and you have a job that's a little bit better than everybody else. You bring in better income, or once again, maybe you're an athlete who signed a big contract. You are a movie star, or you're music recording artist, something like that, where you've got that success and you're doing better than most people in your family. That black tax is real, bro. It's real. Like whenever you're making a certain amount of money, you're gonna have this person calling you, that person calling you, hey, I need help, I need all of these things.
Everybody got a sad story, my nigga.
Facts.
I can sing a sad story for you too. You want me to play the little violin like Mr. Krabs?
That was funny. I need a clip of that. But yeah, that black tax is real, and I think it almost creates a survivor's remorse for those who experience it, right? Because
That's
now
real.
they feel that they are responsible for reaching back and helping out because hey, I got to this next level. But at the same time, I'm really not advancing like you think I'm advancing compared to some of these other wealthier people. Or maybe you do have a multi-million-dollar contract, but like David said, you're taking care of 50 people. Like just think
40 bands a person.
I was just about to say
everybody the same thing.
Just think of
Nuts.
hiring 50 people and paying them a $40,000 salary. Was that 40 bands a year or 40 bands a month?
40 bands, that'd be a year, brother.
But yeah, just think of hiring 50 people and paying them 40 bands a month. And those people aren't actually doing any work for you.
40 bands a year. But yeah, they're not contributing or
40 bands a
benefiting
year, yeah.
or producing a return on what you're investing into them.
That
They're
could eat
just
away into
leeching.
your wealth really, really quickly and leave
That's why
you
we
back.
see so many athletes, especially like in football, bro, where it's so hard for these dudes to get a second contract.
Mhm.
You see these dudes come out the league, bro. I played ball with niggas in college that like, they got one of the dudes got drafted in the first round, and you know he got a nice contract at the end of the first round, and I'm watching him take care of these niggas, bro. You seeing it, like you know what I'm saying, like all the niggas that you was running with that didn't make it, they with you all the time.
Yep.
They probably at the crib with you,
Living vicariously through you.
And that shit could eat up a bag. And I get it, you know, we want to take our people with us. Like you said, that survivor's guilt, bro, of being the one that made it, that's a real feeling. But you gotta learn to say no, especially whenever the people that's in your vicinity, they not there to build you up, they're only there to take away.
Facts. I think that's a good one. So I want to put a bow on this topic. Or do you have anything else that you would like to say?
No. I think that's pretty good.
I do want to close it out by saying this. When it comes to money, you know, magnifying you or amplifying you, or is it changing you? Just think of wealth as a tool, not a trophy. If you're not emotionally equipped, it can destroy as quickly as it built. So yeah,
I like
keep checking the tool. As they would say, make that money, don't let that money make you.
Make that money, don't let that money make you. Players Club.
Yes, sir. Okay, so now that we did just talk about money, I got a question, David.
Okay.
What's your
What's up?
biggest money mistake, or what's the worst way you ever like fucked up a check or like just wasted money, blew money?
Either between financing a luxury car or sections at the club. Easily. I'd probably say sections at the club more than the financial and the luxury car. Because at least with the luxury car, I made money off that
Yeah.
motherfucker. Financing, I mean, going to the club, I ain't made no money for that shit. What, I got some ass? Okay. I could get that shit without doing all that, bro. I'm be honest. Like, I don't have to spend hundreds of dollars to stand in a club and let the little girls come with the sparklers and the
Yeah.
bottle. And do you want some juice with that? Nah, I'm good. Like, I don't need that. I think that was definitely some of the biggest waste of money that I've done. And it's like, whenever you making good money, it seems like, oh yeah, it's not really a waste because I'm making decent money. But then you double back and you look at your budget at the end of the month, and bro, I spent fucking a band in the club. I'm out multiple weekends in a month.
Yeah.
What am I doing, bro? Like, what's going on? Like, you tweaking? You out here spending money for what? Like, what's the tangible benefit of it? Like, you just going to have fun? There's other shit that's fun, nigga. You don't need to go stand in the club. Not that fucking fun. People don't dance no more. Dallas is such a section city. I know you in Houston. Houston the same way. It's such a section city. It feels like a necessity sometimes when you go out, but it's really not. Like, you might get a little extra attention. Like I said, what I got out of it, some ass for some I don't even talk to no more. Come on, bro. Like, that was a dumbass waste of money financial decision on me.
We don't call women.
My apologies, my beautiful black women. You are correct, my brother. But these are some women that I no longer talk to. Because a nigga looked at them bank statements and was like, God damn, that was not worth it.
Okay, I'll say for me, it's low key along the same lines. Strip clubs. I think strip clubs is the worst way I've ever
Jalen love them
like
strippers. Yeah, I
wasted
love
my
them
money.
strippers.
I haven't been to
Yeah,
a
I love them
strip
strippers.
club in a long time, but there was a point where I was kind of going to them more than I needed to, and probably the worst way I've ever wasted my money. Once again,
can
no
hear that.
return on investment. You walk out feeling dirty. It's just
Man, let me tell you something. I ain't never been a fan of strip clubs. I'm going here to get teased. I leave with a hard and empty penis.
This is a family broadcast.
I'm sorry. I'm keeping it too real.
Yes.
What
is wrong with
said
you?
that about the strip club. You go in there and you leave out your tease not pleased and your money is gone. You tease not pleased and you ain't got no cheese. I ain't going for it. I ain't
That's
never liked
crazy.
strippers. I remember the first time I went to a strip club. I was with my partner Ant. Ant was like, "It's my 21st."
No, don't even tell this story. That's the worst story ever, bro.
No, not that one. Not that one.
Okay.
That was not a strip club. That was some backwoods stuff. That story won't make the pod, I promise. I was traumatized, guys. But no, this was like, he's like, bro, it's my 21st birthday, man. I'm trying to go. We was in Houston, matter of fact. I'm trying to go to the strip club. I'm like, bro, let's be for real. What we gonna do in there? We ain't got no money. We ain't got no money. What we going to the strip club for? I'll never forget. Stripper walk up on me, big fine stallion. You know what I'm saying? Come put a hand on my chest, rub down. And I said, baby, I'm gonna be real with you. I ain't got no money. That girl said, and walked the fuck away. You know what I'm saying? Like, look.
How old were you right now?
Like 21.
That's hilarious, nigga.
Yeah. It wasn't my thing. Never been my thing.
Yeah, I would definitely go to have some.
A strip club seemed like a better way to spend the money than the club, though. I'll say that.
Yeah, but
a little bit more entertainment out of it. You know what I'm saying?
That's terrible way, brother. I could have.
Both of them are trash.
That money. Yeah.
Invest your money. But at the same time, you got to go through life. You got to learn things the hard way. I can tell you that every time. I learned that mistake from other people. Like, they telling me it. But until you do it and go through it sometimes on your own, the lesson don't stick. But what they said, a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. Be
Facts.
wiser than me
And be better than
and my
me.
partner over yonder.
For
Learn
sure.
from my mistakes.
For sure. Well, David, you got anything else you want to talk about on this episode, my brother?
No, brother, I think that about wraps it for me, man. What about you? You got any other parting words for the good people?
Not particularly directed towards that. We can wrap it up. I just want to say thank you to everybody for listening. Thank you for all the people who are day ones, who've been rocking with us for the longest. Thank you for everybody who's joining us today. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, once again, subscribe, like, comment on actual podcast players. Leave us that 5-star rating and a review. We would like to hear what you're listening, what you're saying. If you're on Spotify, leave us a comment. You can comment. Show some type of love, whatever you're doing. Oh, also, once again, now that we have full control of our show, I do want to. I've been looking at some analytics, man. I want to shout out some of our listeners, man. We got listeners all around this mug, dog. We got listeners all around the globe, and I just want to shout out a few people.
We global. We
Yes,
major.
sir. I'm trying to.
Here we are. Ooh, the world is ours.
Hey, y'all. David cannot sing at all.
Ooh,
Hey,
the
brother.
gate is gone.
Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to
Hey,
hear
man, I don't care. Y'all know that song? Y'all let me
No.
know.
They do not know.
Man, y'all listen to Rich Forever by Rick Ross. Stop playing with me.
So yeah, brother, we got people checking in, of course, from the great United States, but we got Canada. Shout out to Canada. Shout out to the United Kingdom. Shout out to the Virgin Islands, South Africa. We got people
I'm an island boy.
Saudi Arabia, the Netherlands,
What?
Japan, France, Jamaica, Senegal, Cayman Islands. Shout out to all of our listeners. People out in Peru, Norway, Philippines, Turkey, Ukraine. Niggas is listening from everywhere. So shout out to everybody. I'm sorry. Y'all might not be niggas, but sorry. That's something y'all know.
Man,
I
y'all
call
know
everybody
us
a
by
nigga.
now. If you've been
Yeah.
listening to us for years, y'all know we call everybody niggas, man. I'm sorry to
But
say
yeah,
it. It is what
they
it is.
tapping in from everywhere. So I just wanted to say shout out to the fan base, the global fan base. Also, David, did you know podcasts are now eligible to win Golden Globes?
I did not.
I want to win the Golden Globe, bro. We got
What
some
type
work
of
to
award
do.
is that?
It's an Academy Award.
Like, is that for TV shows or something?
Yeah.
I don't be knowing what them awards for. The Golden Globes, the Emmys, the Oscars. I really don't know what none of them are for. I just know the Grammys is music and the Tonys is acting.
I'll tell you. Yeah, Golden Globes is for like the film and television.
Okay. Yeah, well, we get there. We'll get there. Look, we elevating, escalating, salivating. That ain't even the right word. I just want to say something.
That ain't gonna get us no Golden Globe. I'll tell you that right now, man. I'll tell you that right now. We got a whole lot more work to do. We want to win that Golden Globe, my brother. Talking about some salivating. This nigga's crazy. But yeah, man. Once again, I want to say thank you to everybody, especially if you're still listening right here after all of this craziness. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for tapping in with us. Y'all know how we started closing this out. We're going to end it with a prayer, little words of encouragement. Dear Heavenly Father, just use me. I ask that you just allow everybody who's listened to this, just grace their lives, show them abundance, show them grace, show them mercy, show them blessings, show blessings through their lineage, through their family, create generational wealth for them, both spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, help them become one as a family, and help them to continue to strive and get excellence every day. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. And amen. Like we always say, from his lips to God's ears, y'all go ahead, leave us that 5-star rating and review. And until next time, David and Jalen with the Black Wealth Renaissance crew, and we out.
What was that?
I messed up saying my name, so I just kept it like that.
I think it said David. All right, y'all. This is Black Wealth Renaissance signing out. Peace.